Apple iPhone X vs LG V30. Exciting, appealing, futuristic. These are just some of the words we'd use to describe Apple's iPhone X. But so are expensive and imperfect, as those who have read our iPhone X review should know. Long story short, the iPhone X is a phone worth being thrilled about, but it doesn't quite tick all the boxes that a $1,000 phone should, and many rivals in the high-end space could give it a good run for its money. One of these rivals is the LG V30, which is no less rich in features, but comes at a considerably lower price. Let's now dive deeper and see how these two phones compare. Design. On the surface, the iPhone X and the LG V30 seem similar in many ways. They are both made of glass and metal, they are both designed around bezel-less, extra-tall displays, and they're both water-resistant. But the closer we examine the two, the more differences we encounter. The iPhone X, for instance, uses a stainless steel frame, and while steel is heavier than the aluminum used in the V30, it is also stronger. The V30, on the other hand, has a higher water resistance rating and retains the 3.5mm headphone jack, which the iPhone lacks. Both phones have a certain visual appeal to them, not only thanks to their stylish glass and metal construction, but also by the fact that their screens fill nearly all of their front areas. LG's execution looks better, though. The iPhone X's notch eats up screen space and simply takes away from the experience. But we must admit that the iPhone X feels better in the hand. It may be heavier than the V30, but it is also narrower, allowing for a firmer grip and more comfortable single-thumb navigation. The dedicated mute switch is a nice perk you get only with the iPhone X. What you don't get is a fingerprint scanner. In its place is Face ID, which is Apple's facial recognition system, a facial recognition system that is difficult to fool and works reliably most of the time. Still, a fingerprint scanner is a fast and convenient alternative, and that's exactly what we have on the V30, where a fingerprint scanner is embedded in the power button at the back. Display. First things first, we must point out that the two displays we're comparing here are based on the very same OLED technology, which is known for its greater contrast compared to traditional LCD panels. The screens are also packed with plenty of pixels, 1125 x 2436 pixels, 459 ppi, for the iPhone X, and 1440 x 2880 pixels, 537 ppi, for the LG V30 is more than enough resolution to produce clear and sharp visuals. Still, the iPhone X is superior when it comes to color reproduction. Colors are accurate and vivid, but without any of that artificial saturation boost OLED screens are known for. In contrast, the V30 produces colder whites and pumped-up colors. This is a look that some might actually find appealing, but it is unnatural nonetheless. Thankfully, color reproduction can be configured from the settings menu. Despite its shortcomings, the screen on the LG V30 has a thing or two going for it. For instance, the always-on display feature is kind of neat, and the greater area has the potential to fit more content. But most importantly, it doesn't have a notch getting in the user's way. Selfie quality. All in all, both phones take good-looking selfies, but it is different features that make their selfie cameras special. On the iPhone X you can use portrait mode and studio lighting when taking selfies to achieve a more dramatic or more professional look, but the results are mostly hit and miss. Still, regular selfies turn out great, with faithful colors and more than enough detail. The LG V30 has a skin softening effect to smooth out imperfection and a lighting slider to make faces brighter, but we kept these set to a minimum level to avoid an unnatural look in our selfies. The selfie cam's top feature, however, is its extra-wide lens mode. While it adds some distortion near the edges, it has a very wide field of view that lets you fit the whole party in a single shot. Admittedly, overall image quality is still better from the iPhone, but the V30's wide-angle selfie cam could prove useful when snapping group shots. Battery life. How long a phone lasts between charges depends greatly on how it is used and configured. That's why we level the playing field by subjecting phones to our custom battery test. which runs at a constant screen brightness level and simulates real-life usage. All in all, both the iPhone X and the LG V30 scored really well, meeting our expectations for a phone of this class. Charging, however, is significantly quicker on the LG V30. The phone is supplied with a rapid charger out of the box, which allows it to charge nearly twice as quickly as the iPhone X. To get faster charging on the iPhone X, you need both a more powerful charger and a special cable, both sold separately. Wireless charging is available on both phones, assuming you have a Qi wireless charging accessory. Right now, however, only the LG V30 supports fast wireless charging, while the iPhone X charges at a slower rate. Conclusion: at $1,000, the iPhone X is one of the most expensive phones around. While the LG V30 isn't cheap either, it costs $200 less, which is a considerable price gap, enough to get you 2 years of Spotify Premium or a decent budget backup phone like the Nokia 6 or the 5th generation Moto G. Yet despite the 4-digit figure, the iPhone X has been selling really well, and it is easy to tell why. It is a phone surrounded by hype and excitement, and owning one is like holding a piece of the future today. For many people, choosing the iPhone X over any other phone would be an emotional decision above all. But the good news is that the iPhone X, while expensive, is also a great phone, fast and good looking, with excellent cameras, clear sounding speakers, and, a top-notch display. If money is no object, that's the phone to go with. On the other hand, the LG V30 still has a lot going for it. Just like the iPhone X, it is an enthusiast-grade device, but while the iPhone X is targeted at early adopters, the V30 is more suitable for tinkerers and power users. It may not have the iPhone's color-accurate display, but it doesn't have a notch to distract you with. Its cameras may not have portrait mode, but its wide-angle lenses could be of use in tricky situations. And while you won't find Animoji on it, you will find a fast charger in the box. In other words, if you value practicality over showmanship, perhaps the V30 is the phone to consider.